The wind was cold as Alexander Warren knelt beside his mother's grave, laying a dozen red roses with the same trembling hands that once clung to her apron as a boy. The billionaire everyone knew as untouchable, unbreakable, and impossibly successful was now just a son whispering, "I hope I've made you proud, Mama." And that was the exact moment he heard it, the soft, broken sniffle of a child behind him. He turned to see a little girl, maybe 8, clutching a wrinkled envelope to her chest. Her cheeks were streaked with tears, her braids messy from running. She stood frozen, as if afraid to come any closer. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. It takes a second, but it keeps powerful stories coming your way. Alexander rose slowly, wiping his eyes the way men who never allow themselves to be seen crying must. "Are you all right?" he asked, voice hoarse. The girl shook her head hard, then held the envelope out with both hands. "Mister, this is for you." He frowned. "For me? How did you know I'd be here?" She wiped her nose with her sleeve. "My mommy said. She said if I ever saw you here, I should give you this. She told me to be brave, even if I was scared." Her lip trembled again, and Alexander's stomach tightened. The letter fluttered in her hands like it was alive, desperate to be read. People like Alexander were surrounded by lawyers, advisors, security assistants, yet none of them were here. Just him, a silent cemetery, and this shaking little girl. He gently opened the letter. Inside was a faded photograph of his mother, younger, vibrant, standing beside a woman he didn't recognize. And the letter said, "Alexander, she never wanted to tell you, but you deserve to know. The truth is bigger than both of us." The signature at the bottom made his heart slam like a fist. Marissa Daniels. Marissa, his childhood neighbor, the girl he used to walk to school with. The one who vanished when they were 16 without a goodbye. He looked at the child again, big brown eyes. The same shape as Marissa's. "What's your name?" he asked carefully. "Ellie," she whispered. "Ellie Daniels." Alexander stepped back, breath caught. Daniels. Daniels. His mother's grave felt suddenly too close, too heavy, as if it held truths he wasn't prepared for. Ellie reached for his sleeve. "Please don't be mad at Mommy. She said she didn't want to ruin your life again." He crouched to meet her eyes. "Ellie, is your mother okay? Where is she?" At that, Ellie burst into a new wave of sobs. "She's sick. She said you'd understand. She said you'd know what to do." Alexander felt his chest collapse. He remembered Marissa at 16, bright, bold, laughing like she could outrun the whole world. They had been inseparable back then. His mother loved her. And then one day she was gone, leaving behind only a rumor. She left because Alexander's father fired her mother and threatened the family. His father, the same ruthless businessman he had spent his adult life trying not to become. He lifted Ellie gently into his arms, something he hadn't done with a child since he held his little cousins years ago. "Take me to your mother," he said. She nodded against his shoulder, gripping his suit jacket like it was the only safe thing she had left. They drove through the city he owned half of. But for once he didn't feel powerful, only responsible, painfully responsible. Ellie directed him to a rundown apartment building with peeling paint and rusted railings. "Here," she whispered. Alexander carried her up 3 flights of stairs, feeling guilt with every step. How many fortunes had he built while Marissa struggled somewhere he never thought to look? When he knocked, the door cracked open, revealing Marissa, older, thinner, tired in the bones, but still her. Her eyes widened in shock. "Ellie, you gave it to him." Ellie ran to her and hugged her waist. "He came, Mama." Marissa looked at Alexander as if he were a ghost. "You weren't supposed to. I never wanted you dragged into this." "Dragged?" he echoed. "Marissa, why didn't you tell me? Why did you disappear?" She sank into a chair, coughing, covering her mouth with a trembling hand. "Your father offered us money to leave. Threatened my mom's job. I thought staying away would save you trouble. My mom died believing she protected us." Her eyes went to Ellie. "When I got sick, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want her to end up in foster care." The words hit him like iron. All the years he spent trying to escape his father's cruelty, unaware it had destroyed more than just his childhood. He knelt in front of Marissa, the same way he knelt at his mother's grave minutes earlier. "You should have come to me." She gave a small, broken smile. "You were becoming a billionaire, Alex. I was working 2 jobs. Our worlds didn't fit anymore." They do now, he said, firm. They always did. Ellie crawled into her mother's lap. Mama, Mr. Alex says he'll help. Marissa's eyes filled. He doesn't owe us anything. Alexander shook his head. I owe you everything. You were the only light I had when my father tried to break me. Let me return that. What followed wasn't a dramatic rescue. It was weeks of hospital visits, legal work, and long nights where he read Ellie bedtime stories while Marissa slept through treatments. And slowly, the walls Marissa built out of fear began to crumble. One evening, Ellie brought him a crayon drawing, him holding hands with her and her mother, standing in front of a house. Is this us? He asked softly. Ellie nodded. It's what Mommy hopes. Alexander looked at Marissa, who had regained some strength. She shrugged shyly. She dreams big. He framed the drawing. Months later, Marissa's health stabilized. Ellie ran into his arms like she had always known he was hers too. And Alexander returned to his mother's grave, not with roses this time, but with Ellie and Marissa beside him. You did make me proud, he whispered. And now I'll do the same for them. Because sometimes, family isn't lost. It's rediscovered, right when your heart needs it most.